Hi everyone, welcome to this week's What If. It's Monday, technically it's Sunday, I'm pre-recording this. I actually had to restart this because it just went off the rails, the video, so I'm just restarting this for the sake of quality. And this one's an interesting one. Now, I'm a big fan of Bleach. People have some, if you're reading this, you've probably already finished, Bleach, so people have some issues with, I definitely have some issues with the fact it was rushed, they didn't explain everything, as people have some issues with, the pairings, or Rukia, Renji, Ichigo, and Orihime. I'm actually one of the people who doesn't. Those are the people, you may get angry at me for this, they're the ones that when you really read the story, should have ended up together. Because with the Rukia, it was more like there was maybe an attraction, but it was more kind of just like a partnership. With Orihime admitted she loved Ichigo. So the issue comes with we don't see Ichigo express any romantic feelings towards any of them, really. Either of them. But one of them actually did admit to loving him, so it makes sense. It's like if Naruto had actually ended up with, I don't know, Ten instead of Hinata, who admitted she loved him. That would have made no sense whatsoever. And yeah, you can get on the argument of, it's like, oh, Naruto should have ended up with Sasuke. Read that series again. Naruto should not have ended up with Sasuke. Well, I meant to say Sakura, but yeah, there's people who say that too. Sakura, he should have ended up with Sakura. Read the series through and through again. You read that series, there's no way he should have ended up with Sakura. He even flat out said when she made a false confession, he could read right through. It's like, no, you love Sasuke. Don't lie to me. It's like, no, you're in love with him. I'm just doing this because I love you. I love you, but, you clearly love someone else. That's fine. I can handle that. But, just don't lie to me about stuff. Whereas someone who loved him for him, and then he grew to love her for her, that was Hinata and Naruto. And I think, and both came from a place of, I'm going off a little tangent as opposed to the last time. Both came from a place of, hurt, loss, and neglect. And that's why they worked far better with each other. Anywho, but no, one of my favorite characters was always Kenpachi. He was the badass, he's the demon, Demon Uzuraki, all that. This is one of the most badass characters of the series. But the question then becomes, what if he knew his Shikai and his Bankai from the get-go? What if he knew it before he even reached the 13 Core Guard Squad? So the way I imagine this is, after his fight with Unohana, he limits himself, but he wants to get stronger. At the same time, he grows up, and it's the same that when he meets Yajiro, all that happens. But Yajiro actually says her name is not Yajiro. At some point says, Nozarashi. It's like, what? My name, Nozarashi. And so he eventually learns Shikai and Bankai at some point, and that's why and by the way, that's why he's able, when you really think about it, to use Bankai just instinctively. Because to use Bankai, and I might be paraphrasing a little bit here, you need to have like an actual rapport, an actual real bond with your sword. And he pretty much raised Yajiro at that point. So, yeah, that bond was already there. That wasn't the issue at all. But anyway. And what if he had, more or less mastered his Shikai by the time he got to... mastered his Zanpakuto, Bankai, and Shikai by the time he got to the 13 Gorkon Squad. Well, he would have met Ikaku. He still would have met Ikaku and Yumachika. I had some major trouble in the last video in pronouncing that name. Yumachika. The fight would have gone about the same, though. It wouldn't have been Yajiro who pissed him off to get him to fight Kenpachi, or get Kenpachi to fight him. So they would have fought and stuff like that. Now, when they got there, he would have killed the former Kenpachi, taking his place. Now, when he gets there, when he starts training a little bit under Yamamoto, I believe the only people who would actually know about his Bankai would be Ikaku, Yumachika, and the head captain. I think that's the case because Kenpachi would still limit himself. Right? He would only use Shikai and Bankai against individuals who he actually thought could handle the full power of that. It's like, that's why he wouldn't use it against Ikaku in that fight, in their first fight. And I think also another thing that would be changed is Ikaku would still be would be his lieutenant. And Yumachika would be number 3 seed. That's how it works. That's how they wanted it to work originally. But he couldn't because of Yajiro, but then he could. And I think Ikaku, actually for sparring purposes, when he finally learns his Bankai, would actually let his captain know about his Bankai, but they wouldn't let anyone else know about his Bankai. And they would probably duke it out for a while, sparring with Bankai. Kenpachi Shikai alone would actually absolutely wreck his Bankai. because Ikaku's Bankai, because Ikaku's Bankai does not have actual defensive capabilities, pure offense. And, Kenpachi's is designed to just cut down anything. So, he didn't cut through Gerard's shield, but it was a very a specific circumstance. It can cut through down nearly anything, and I think Ikaku's Bankai, unless it was like offense versus offense, I think it would be, fine. But yeah, it's one of those things. But I do think they would probably spar a couple times with that. But yeah, I think they're the only ones who would know about his Bankai because he wants to and Shikai. Maybe Shikai he would let the other people know, but otherwise, I don't think even he would let even Unohana know about that. But, so then we cut into, it's just, standard business as usual. But then we cut to when the Soul Society arc happens, when the Ichigo stuff and his friends come in. Now, the fight between Kenpachi and Ichigo, I think, would generally be in Kenpachi's favor as it was throughout the majority of the fight. In fact, I don't think any of that fight changes up until Ichigo basically resurrects himself. He stops playing, gets Zangetsu, comes in, hits him, and then they fight. He's like, yeah, not now, we're having so much fun! And just, they fight, and boom, boom, fighting, and Ichigo's still hitting them. It's like, and then it's like, and then one thing that would change, I was like, because we both know, why don't you release your Zanpakuto? It's like, you really think you're worth my Zanpakuto? It's like, if you can't even handle my sword when it's not released, how do you think you'll match up against that full power kid? So I think Kenpachi would, again, release the eye patch, but also I was like, you want a kid? Here it comes. Drink. Nozarashi. And then that giant cleaver comes out, and Kenpachi can use it with just one hand. So it's just like, and then Ichigo would be like, Zangetsu? It's like, maybe Zangetsu would probably be like, I'm at the limit. We're going to have to go full power here. It's like, yeah. And then it's just here. Then they clash. And Ichigo, I think, honestly, Zangetsu in the mask, the Hollow Mask took a lot of the brunt from that hit. And that's why Ichigo survived. That Hollow Mask would have been near shattered. And Ichigo, I think, again, barely survives. And it's just one of those things where the sword and Ichigo is what I think it'd be something like Ichigo is still in him. Unfortunately, he's now missing half his arm and maybe a little bit of the side. He's bleeding out a lot. But and then Yorichika, or barely, it's all barely hanging in there. The mask barely stopped the blade. He's kind of not even fully together. Kind of like when Aizen cut him down, and he was basically being held there together simply because of his spinal cord. So something along those lines. Ichigo and Yorichi says or anything. Difference is Kenpachi be like, that was a rush. What a rush. Hey, if you live again, let's fight another day. And he just reseals the sword and just, jumps out. Because also, when he learned Nozarashi's name, he had a much greater control over his spiritual pressure. So he would probably, grab his eye patch and just head off, get healed and all that stuff. And then Yorichi comes. So after he heals and stuff like that, because I'm certain he would have immense fun fighting Ichigo. I was like, yeah, Ichigo, he's alive, all right. He's alive, getting stronger, except he's not wrapped in anywhere near as many bandages. Actually, no, he'd be wrapped in just about the same amount of bandages. He would just have he would probably be a bit more durable, have more control over spiritual energy, so he could use it to kind of heal himself, or keep himself together until he got actual healing. So then when he's helping the Ryoko, he's helping Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. Then the other captains come in, and because remember, at this point, we're assuming that the other captains don't know about his Shikai, definitely don't know about his Bankai. So it's like, this, how would he put it? It's like, did you lose all your sanity when you were defeated? Sanity? What would I do with a worthless thing like that? Lucky for me, I never had any such thing. So that would happen. Yukimicha and Shusui would, fight, and that fight would go the same. Ikaku, I actually think we don't know how that fight actually went down. I think they were just more, because they were fighting for fun at that point. It'd be the same fight normally as it went in the manga, except, the difference being is what I think happens. Is, again, it's the same fight where he's kicking their asses, like, oh, come on, you don't look like you're dead. Come on, at least give me a challenge, release your Bankais before you die. It's like, what would you know about ours? You who's not even worthy of Bankai. Kenpachi just, that's a chuckle. It's like, and it's like, let me handle this, Sajin. There are three ways to become a corp. And then I was like, what's your point? That you're a demon. So this is my Bankai. What do you think? It's like, I can't see or feel. Seems like an area. And Kenpachi would probably understand that it's an area of effects. Like, fine. It's like, he just does that thing where he cuts your toes in and just, he smiles like, no fear of the dark to begin with. But then it's like, hey, blind man. It's like, yeah, I admit this Bankai is a nuisance. If you can even hear this, but I admit this Bankai is a nuisance. But honestly, I don't even. He could cut through that. Let's be clear. He could have cut through Tozen's Bankai. I actually don't think he would. I think that fight would probably much stay the same. But let's say, a fight to the death, just like you love. And he maybe would have released his Shikai, maybe even gone Bankai, had Komobara stayed around, but he didn't. So yeah, that would probably stay the same. There would be nothing really that happens in the Iranka arc leading up to the Hueco Mundo arc, which, well, let's be clear, there are two things that would have happened in those scenarios. Once we get to the Hueco Mundo fight, it's a different scenario entirely. He's fighting Noritoria, and again, the eye patch gets released. He's fighting, and then he releases his Resurrection, takes Kenpachi down for a second. Kenpachi gets back up, and he feels some serious stress, and he hears the word drink. And then Nozarashi, giant clears his hand. And he not only cleaves off one arm, he cleaves off the entire half of his other arm. So he's missing half of his arm. It's like, it's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, you're definitely going to be, this is definitely going to be fun. It's like, yeah, I'd leave you one arm. I'll leave you one arm. It's like, no, you'll have this. And he just regrows all his arms and regrows the sides. It's like, this is going to be fun. And then just, comes in. Except this time where Noritoria had the multiple blades and speed advantage, Kenpachi just has the sheer overwhelming power advantage. So he's probably cutting through a couple of the sides. Arms keep going. He's probably getting gashes. Noritoya's like, I am the strongest. It's like, then just... Blade comes out. It's like, oh well, this is annoying. I'd still imagine he gets the lucky hit in on his near his neck. It's like, this way I might actually die, but I don't want to die. All right, Kendo it is. He's using Kendo with his giant cleaver. So it's like, then just boom. If you thought the crater he made or the giant sand column he made in the first fight with Noritoya with just his normal blade was something, that thing would be like a near-atomic explosion, and then even Byakuya, Unohana, and Miyori would be like, whoa, is that Kenpachi? He's like, yeah, we should probably hang back. So, and then Noritoria would just be, you bastard. I'm not dead yet. It's like, it's not my job to get. He's going to seal his sword at that point, and then does the same thing where he just kills Noritoria at that point. So afterwards, then it's Rocky Byakuya versus Yami, and then he's fighting Yami. That fight pretty much stays about the same. But at this point, I think he's just more comfortable using his. He's normally just comfortable using his Shikai or his release state. He rarely ever used his when he had his Shikai. He didn't use it unless the opponent he thought was really worth the time or really powerful enough. He used it against Grimy because to destroy the meteorite. He used it against Gerard because it was just one of those things like, I can't cut it. It just makes me want to cut it more. So as well as he can cut Yami and stuff like that. So I don't see him really going Shikai unless it's that moment where he can tries to compete. It's like, I always wanted to compete against you and try to hit Byakuya. I do think that he might have released it once Yami went full on to rage mode, second form, and it's like. And I think Byakuya might have been like, he can use Shikai? Huh. It's like, huh. And just maybe he would cut down Yami. So that fight doesn't take really any different form. Now we get into the really different form here. That initial fight between... he took the form of Yuabak, but it wasn't Yuabak. It was... or you watch. I think it's Eurobox how it's pronounced, but you watch. 1 second here. I'm getting the wiki page up right now so I can reference it. There's Lloyd and Lloyd. Now I'm trying to remember which one it was because they have similar abilities, but they're not the same. They're like both identical twins. But They have very similar. One like absorbs like these powers and the memories or something like that, and the other one. Hold on, and then Kenpachi. All right. Okay, Kenpachi, Saraki, do. Hey, okay, there he is. And wouldn't you know, he kind of falls in literally in the last place. So, Kenpachi, so what was it? That guy, he was more or less on par with Yuabak is the thing. Where are you? Okay, yeah, Big Car Town, and then okay, Yuaba. Okay, it wasn't Yuabak or Yuach. It was the George Glad Soul the Brink Glad, Cabin by the Frost, standing over and then the for after Battle for Kenpachi. Okay, damn, I don't know which one it was. Point being, it was the one. Actually, you know what? This one. Why I put on? Not why I don't go with Zaraki. Why don't I go with Yamamoto? Because this was the guy. This was basically the version that fought Yamamoto. Which, by the way, that was another. Well, I'm looking it up. That was another thing. That was kind of disappointing overall. We get the stealing of Bankai originally in the Stern Ritter arcs, but we get we have Yamamoto's Bankai stolen, and that's never brought up. For God's sake, he has probably the most powerful Bankai in existence, you watch, and he doesn't use it at all. It was Royd Lloyd, by the way. Now Royd Lloyd, now he's not like he's not like truly Yuach in terms of power. Let's see. The yourself is his ability, which again, let me see here. All right. No, not that one. The yourself. Okay. Like his brother, he can transform an exact physical likeness of another person. In doing so, he can replicate memories and personalize the individual aligned to the flawlessly impersonate his target. While Royd and Lloyd were both copy appearances, Royd could replicate people's memories and personalize, whereas Lloyd instead copies power and his techniques. So I'm assuming that we're talking about Lloyd here. And Lloyd, I'm assuming that's the case. It's weird because he pretty much was on par with Zaraki and Yamamoto, so it's weird. Point being, though, I think that fight would go insanely differently, especially if Kenpachi just decides to go full-on Bankai on this guy. Or even if he just comes in, if Yuabak tries to block and he's got, with his Blood Veil, which, again, it's not the real Yuabak, we know, or you watch, again, I might go back and forth, and Kenpachi uses his cleaver, I would actually be willing to bet he cleans, takes his arm off, and then he has to backpedal. Kenpachi's going back. They duke it out for a while. Then Kenpachi finally says, you know what, screw it. Bankai! And whatever his Bankai's name is, he takes the Oni form where he just completely decimates this guy. Because that Bankai is not on record. That's the thing. They can't take a Bankai they don't know anything about. So he just takes out that guy. And then Yamamoto comes in. It's like, oh, I see. This is what happened. And then actual Yuach shows up and sees them, and he realizes, oh, I need to take a step back here. And then, but the question's like, so you're the real boss, huh? And then it just comes in and this rushes in. Even taking a slice, he can slice from a distance too. It's like one of those things like the force that cut through Gerard Valkyrie, and he was good tens of maybe even 100 foot away, and he would just slice through him like that. So I think they would possibly make him retreat. I do believe if he doesn't make it out, he retreats. But here's the thing: Yamamoto, I believe, lives through this. So that's where a key difference really takes place here. In terms of raw power, I think Kenpachi is literally the second strongest Shinigami, right next to Yamamoto in terms of the raw power of their abilities. In fact, if you take Yamamoto out of the equation, I think Kenpachi is actually the strongest raw ability powered Shinigami there is in the Soul Society at that point. Now, overall, abilities and stuff like that, it's different. Like Kido and sword work and actual technique, that belongs to like a bunch of other people. Though he's still probably one of the strongest Shinigami in there. So now that it's a retreat, now it's different. Now the Zero Division doesn't show up. They don't have to show up. Well, maybe they do. Maybe Ichigo still goes up against the Zanpakuto place, but maybe they come down to check out the aftermath of that. And I don't know if any of, I mean, maybe they try to analyze Kenpachi's Bankai, so maybe they can try to take it. However, I don't think it's just something they recently found. They can't analyze something that quickly, I don't think. So Kenpachi's Bankai, I think, is still safe from being taken. He probably wouldn't use it unless he had to. Yamamoto's still around. Zero Squad Division shows up. They have an interaction. Different interaction, seeing as Yamamoto would still be alive. And Komamoro is now, a dog. They go up there. They go up to the Zero Division, and everything on the Zero Division happens the same. They go try to invade the Soul Society again, and does Kenpachi do it out with Gremmy again? I don't think so. Because the reason he really went after Gremmy the first time is because he sensed Yajiro's Ryatsu fading. So without Ryajiro being there, I don't think he goes after Gremmy right off the bat. I think Gremmy would still show off and try to blow up the Soul Society, but I don't know. It's really difficult to tell. I think if he does, he still beats Gremmy and probably doesn't even take as much damage because again, knowing Bankai LS, his body's even tougher now. Then the four, I don't know what you would call them. They're the four female Sternritters: Katniss, the P the Power, T the Thunderbolt, Z the Zombie, G the Glutton. They come in. Kenpachi's probably is in better condition, and he may even take out one of them. Like maybe he takes off Zombie's head. It's like, oh darn. Or one of them, Power, or maybe he clashes with Power. Power can't take it. He goes Shikai and just takes out Power. But I think eventually he does get, blasted, or he either gets blasted out or holds off long enough for Ichigo to show up. Ichigo takes him on, so then there's the whole situation there. Kenpachi still probably would fight a little bit. Maybe he takes on Peppy, I mean. The Sternritter L, the Love. Maybe he takes him on, and his love can't. For some reason, his love doesn't. Maybe that'd be fun if he tries to possess Jiraki's Zanpakuto with love, but it doesn't work because it's Yajiro in there. So he's like, no, I like Kenny. Kenny's my friend. I don't like you. It's like what? I had to cuss him down. Then we get the fight between Pernita, I think it's Pernita, the hand of the Soul King, the other one. The giant hand, Quincy. And that fight again would probably go about the same. And I think he just wouldn't. He's not the right opponent for Pernita. Pernita would generally kill him. That said, the fight between Gerard would go relatively the same, but he would. I think because at this point in his history, his life, he's mastered Bankai, or mastered his Bankai pretty much. The power coursing through him wouldn't cause his arm to snap from the sheer power. So it would just be slice, and then eventually, Gerard would take him, and the series goes on forth. And then that happened. And one big thing here is that Unohana lives through all this. Unohana pretty much they don't fight at all. As far as there'd be no reason for them to fight, apart from maybe a fun spar and then, kill each other. But there would be no reason for that, because the reason in the manga for that was Kenpachi needed to learn the Shikai and needed to learn the art of killing. In this, he doesn't need to do that. In fact, if she tried to go up against Kenpachi now, in this scenario, she would get her ass wrecked by Kenpachi. That means that we don't know what Minazuki's Bankai does. So who knows for certain? Even then, he's still beat her. So and then it plays out pretty much the same. But that's how I think the whole scenario in Bleach would play out if Zaraki knew his Shikai and Bankai from the get-go, from the very beginning of Bleach, if he knew it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who wins, put those in the comments below too. I do get to them. I put them on my list to make sure to have them. I got one actually planned for this week. That's a suggestion. And ideas for what ifs like this video, please put those in the comments below too. I do get to them. Besides this what if, I have the who would win plan. they'll reveal the death battle, the full death battle between Zoro from One Piece and whoever he's fighting sometime in the week. So I'll do a prediction for that. Superhero video this week, magic video this week. It'll be Fantastic Beasts where to find them, and then another box office video on Sunday, and anything else that reviews, movies, whatever, news, the whole kit and caboodle. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you folks next time.